What's up? So this is a Misotto, or a miso risotto. I'm gonna be honest, I thought of the name before I thought of the dish. Turns out I'm not original, and there's a bunch of other people who have made a similar recipe to this. But this is the best one that I've ever had. It's also the only one that I've ever had. It's just loaded with umami from the miso and the dashi. And of course the rice is al dente, so you get that chew right in the middle. And the entire thing is so creamy, and it smells delicious. Oh, and bonus, it's also topped with homemade bonito oil. So you know I like Japanese and Italian fusion, as evidenced by my miso carbonara recipe. This one's pretty good, you should check it out. So here's another one. Half cup or 100 grams of arborio rice, about 75 grams of beach mushrooms or shimeji mushrooms, about half of a small onion, half cup of cooking sake, about a teaspoon of soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of miso, about 5 grams of kombu or dried kelp, and a scallion to garnish. Now this is optional, but you could also have some katsuobushi and some neutral oil, like an avocado oil, to make a bonito flavored flavoring oil. So it's the day before, and we're gonna make some kombu dashi. Now this is kombu, and it looks like this. It's literally a piece of dried kelp, but this is gonna give us the base of our risotto. You see all these white specks on the surface on the kombu? This is all umami. So we're gonna be careful not to take this off, but there's some stuff on here that we don't want. So we're just gonna brush it off. We're gonna want about 2.5 cups of water. So that's gonna be 540 grams. It's always better to have more than too little. So maybe I'll overdo it by a little bit. We're gonna shoot around 1% per weight for the water. Because this is 540 grams, we're gonna shoot for 6 grams of kombu. 5 grams, perfect. And then we're just gonna pop the kombu into here and let it sit overnight. All right, cool. This is gonna sit in the fridge overnight. And in the morning, we'll have some nice, clean kombu dashi. And after letting it sit overnight, you're gonna end up with something like this. A slightly pale colored, but clear dashi for our misotto. Smells like kelp. It doesn't need to be anything grand. All we need is a subtle umami flavor to base our misotto off of, and this is that. All right, so first off, we're gonna start with the onion. We're gonna dice that into cubes. Then next up, we have the scallion. This is gonna be used as a topping. We're just gonna slice it nice and thin into little strips. I've seen some people talk about how chopping chives is a testament of your knife skills. And it's kind of the same principle here. You know, chives, scallions, kind of the same thing. You don't really wanna chop down like this, but more of a rocking motion to slice. Once that's good, we're gonna set that off to the side. We're gonna start off by heating the kombu dashi. We don't want this to boil, but we want it to be hot enough so that when we add it to the rice, it doesn't cool the pan down. I want to get a little bit of color on the mushrooms themselves. Layer of oil. Sorry, my settings are weird. And while that's going on, we're gonna make the bonito oil. This is gonna be optional. So to a small frying pan, you're gonna add some neutral oil, like avocado oil, and you're gonna put it on medium heat to let it come up to temp. We're gonna add a handful of katsuobushi. This is grated dried bonito. It's gonna give the misotto a really nice aroma. And then we're gonna keep this on low temperature to slowly extract the flavor. Once the oil has been steeping for about 5 minutes, we're gonna take it off the heat, and then we're gonna strain it. And you're gonna end up with this golden oil that I didn't strain too well, but it's gonna give a lot of bonito aroma. Once it looks like this, and there's plenty of color and browning, we're good. With the heat on low, we're gonna add the mushrooms. What? Just kidding. With the heat on low, we're gonna add the onions. Now, you just wanna cook these until they get translucent, not browned. All right, this has been cooking for a while now. And now, we're gonna toast the arborio rice. And we just wanna get a little bit of color on this. This is gonna be real quick, maybe like a minute or two. Try not to spill like I'm doing. Just keep things moving around so it doesn't stick and burn to the bottom. Now you're ready to deglaze, so add your cooking sake. And make sure to scrape all that fond off the bottom of the pan. At this point, you're gonna start adding ladlefuls of the dashi. And we're slowly gonna cook this over a period of about 20 minutes to let the rice absorb the dashi. And at this point, you're gonna add your soy sauce because we want the flavor from within. We're almost there. This is about 15 minutes in. You can see the rice is absorbing the dashi. And for lack of a better term, it's getting kind of goopy. Let's finish strong. And the most important thing is to taste as you go. If you like the texture of your rice like this, then so be it. Maybe you'll have some dashi left over. If you want it to be a little bit softer, then keep going. Only you know what you want. And once you get to a texture that you like, and most of the dashi has been absorbed by the rice, you're good. So turn the heat off, and now we're gonna add the miso. That's about half. And I like adding a little bit at a time to make sure it's fully incorporated. Now this miso is salty, so it's very easy to over flavor your misotto. And that'd be so tragic because you worked so hard to get to this point, you know. You made the dashi, you cooked the misotto slow and slow, and you don't want that to all just go to waste. So, like I said before, you taste as you go. Let's add the other half tablespoon. To solidify a little bit, so I'm adding the rest of my dashi to thin it out. Remember, you want it to be kind of goopy. Perfect. Let's plate it up. Now we're gonna add the diced scallions, and then some of that golden bonito oil. This is optional, but I like a bit of black pepper. And there you go, a beautiful miso risotto, aka a misotto. Itadakimasu. Man, that's good. I'm not gonna lie, this is delicious. I know I made it, but it's still delicious. From the first bite, you get hit with the saltiness and the umami from the soy sauce and the miso. And it smells incredible with the mushrooms and the bonito oil. And I love the little kick of black pepper to add like a little bit of bite to an otherwise very rich and creamy dish. And these green onions too, they add just a little bit of freshness that again contrasts and cuts through the richness of the rest of the dish. Genuinely, I think this is the best recipe I've ever come up with. I think because this is so rich, I think it would be a good complement to a main dish like a salmon or maybe like a simple roast chicken. I know it's a decently complicated dish with lots of moving parts. You have to make the dashi ahead of time. I think it's worth it. I think all the details add up to more than the sum. And this is a great thing to make for like a dinner party or when your friends are coming over. All right, that's it for today. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. I will try to think of more recipes. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you make it at home, and I hope you try it for yourself because it's a damn good dish. That's all. Thanks for coming. Everybody eats. Love you.